I'm calling it now. Travis Hunter will be a generational bust. I'll say it again. I think Travis Hunter will be a generational bust. I'm going to show you guys a clip. Everybody's seen this clip. This is what happened to him when he faced a fourth-round receiver. This is what happened to him when he plays better talent. All right, let's watch the clip.
Just watch this. The throw. He
Come
takes
on.
it. He traps it to his back of his helmet.
Look at that.
And just watch this. The throw.
One more time.
He takes it. He traps it to his back of his helmet.
Now, I know all you guys remember this game. What other generational talent do you know a receiver had 13 catches on him, 294 yards, and 3 TDs, and their team came back by 29 points? Did that happen to Deion? Did that happen to Jamar Chase? Did that happen to Calvin Johnson? Did that happen to Randy Moss? Did that happen to Champ Bailey? No. The answer is no on none of that. Did that happen to Ty Law? It didn't. Did that happen to Jalen Ramsey? It happened to none of these guys. Darrelle Revis, the list goes on and on. When you look at the top generational receivers and the top generational corners, none of them have allowed a 29-point comeback, and none of them have allowed 13 catches for 294 yards and 3 TDs against a guy from Stanford who ended up going in his same draft class, went 4th round. I just don't get the hype. You know, Kwame Brown always says that stars are created. They're not born. And that's what I see here. You know, the media is creating a star. That's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. They want to create a star. They want to tell you how good this guy is. They want to hype him up. But we've seen him play. Now let's look at this guy's competition level. This is his schedule, his junior year. All right, he played Utah. They weren't ranked. They were bad. Cam Rising was out. They lost 23-17. He had 8 catches, 107 yards, and a touchdown, and lost to a backup quarterback. They didn't even have their starting quarterback at Utah and weren't ranked or having a terrible year. They lost 56-14 to Washington State. Come on. What other generational talent is losing like this? Was Johnny Manziel? Was Jameis Winston? Was Cam Newton in college losing like this? No. Then he lost to Arizona. Who does Arizona have? Then he lost to UCLA. A bad UCLA. And he had 3 catches, 7 yards against UCLA. Who did they have? And then we know what happened already against Stanford. Colorado State, they barely beat them. He had 2 catches, 21 yards. And remember, guys, he got hurt that game. But come on, like, what is this talent level? Oh, he played Nebraska. Nebraska hasn't been good in 30 years. It's just ridiculous. In the first game, they played TCU. Remember, they were coming off losing the championship or in the semifinals, whatever it was. And they were horrible. They were away. All their guys went pro, and they were a horrible team. It's just ridiculous, the hype this guy gets. Let's go to this past year, 2024. Oh, wow. Another full schedule of no SEC schools. He played one Florida school in UCF, which is a bottom barrel Florida school, who fired their coach. They didn't even have a good year. Where's the talent he played? Show me the talent. Did he play at Georgia? Did he play at Alabama? Did he play at Michigan? Oh, wait, he didn't play Big Ten teams either? He didn't play Ohio State. He didn't play Michigan. He didn't play Penn State. He played none of the top defenders. If you look at this list right here, let's see. He played Kansas State, right? He had 3 catches for 26 yards, right? That's the only cornerback he went against that was ranked. I mean, they got drafted, and then they were ranked. Okay, when they played BYU, he had a pretty decent game, but they got destroyed. How are you generational when you don't make your team better and your team loses? I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. How are you generational when you haven't played any of the top talent? Show me another guy in college football history that got defensive player and the Heisman off not playing any top talent. It's just ridiculous. This is the best cornerback he played against in his whole career. He was 3rd round pick, the 85th pick in the draft. He had 3 catches for 23 yards against this guy. What are the scouts seeing? This was the best corner, a 3rd round pick that he played against. Are you serious? He didn't play against a Clemson. He didn't play against a Florida. He didn't play against an Alabama corner, a Georgia corner, a LSU corner, an Ole Miss corner, a Tennessee corner, Ohio State corner, a Michigan corner. It's just ridiculous. This guy locked him up. 5'10", 190, locked him up. So what are the scouts seeing? I'm seeing generational bust. I'm seeing a guy that was hyped up by the Deion train, by the media train, by Colorado was so good, but the film shows otherwise. It shows that he had a lot of good games against a lot of bad talent. And then when he faced talent, he didn't produce at the same level. Now let's go to the next clip. This is him in practice. And as you can see him in practice right here, he's doing routine stuff. Look how small he looks. He's coming to the NFL. This guy can't gain weight. He gained no weight in Jackson State. He gained no weight at Colorado. For 4 years, he's been the same size. And we've seen every year he's been injured. So if you're this guy, you can't gain weight, you're at the NFL level. And look at this route. This is a subpar route. This is a subpar route right here. To me, that's not a generational talent. To me, I'm not watching Calvin Johnson. And then my next point, the guy's injury prone. The guy is injury prone. I said it already, but as you can see on the right, remember he got hurt by getting hit by a Colorado State player that's not even playing in the Arena League. So what happens when he faces the top talent, when he faces these big guys in the NFL? You think really this skinny guy that weighs 165 pounds is going to be able to take the hits, is going to be able to take the punishment, is going to be able to take the abuse of the NFL? I just don't see it. I don't see it. I see a guy who was hyped up. I see a guy who, he doesn't really play physical. He's more finesse. Yeah, he's very athletic, but he didn't play anybody in college. His first 2 years at Jackson State, he played absolutely no one, and he didn't even have good stats. And then his next 2 years at Colorado, he didn't play anyone either. No SEC schools. I don't know how many times I got to say it, because for some reason, Mel Kiper and ESPN and all the draft analysts and all the scouts, they forgot to mention that. But if it was any other player, they would be saying how, he didn't play any talent. He didn't play against the SEC. He just played in this, in this conference in the Pac-12 that was closing. And then he went to the Big 12 and, they're not the best conference. They don't play defense. Both those conferences don't play defense. So he didn't, he faced one top 25 defense his whole career, Nebraska. It's like, what are they seeing? I just don't see this generational talent. I see a guy that's not going to be ready, this injury prone, this skinny, that's going to be a bust. Next, we have bad coaching. He had bad coaching. Deion gave him the ball every play. Deion even said, when we're trying to get Travis 100 yards, he would put him back in the game, even if the game was out of hand, to get him his 100 yards. They're not going to do that in the NFL. They're not going to play the favorite game. And also, is he going to play both sides? Deion's already used him 1 million snaps. Deion's used him for his game. So you got to know that in the NFL, you only have a certain amount of hits. We've seen other guys play both ways in college some, and, they played only one side, basically, of the ball in the NFL. You only have a certain amount of hits your body can take. This guy's been injured every year of his career, at least for a game, and he's already been used up so many snaps by Deion. And then what receivers has Deion developed and put in the pros? As a cornerback, I'll give it to him. Deion gave him some good coaching. But as a receiver, I've never seen a Jackson State or a Colorado receiver that Deion's produced to be a great receiver. Where is it? Show me. There's none. So it's just ridiculous. The bad coaching and then the playing him so many snaps. How can you think a guy's going to be able to handle the NFL when he's already played so many snaps? And we've seen guys that came out of college, Todd Gurley, that were amazing, that had a lot of snaps in college, and they came to the pros and only lasted a few years. We've seen all the amazing athletes. Julio Jones, his body failed him later on in his career. It's a lot of guys that had a lot less snaps and a lot less hits to their body, and they weren't playing both sides, that their body has ran down. And that's what's going to happen to Travis Hunter. And to me, it will happen within 2 to 3 years because he's not going to be able to last. And you have to know that. He won't last in the NFL. It's just logic. And he didn't play talented people in college. And so when he's going to go against the best of the best and go against them big boys, he's going to have some trouble. He's going to get hit hard for the first time. This not an undersized Colorado State player that's bagging groceries. No, you're going to get hit by real NFL talent. You're going to get hit. Are you going to go across the middle on Roquan Smith? Are you going to get hit? You going to be able to get up after a Derwin James hit? Or one of these big defensive linemen, Calais Campbell? Come on, man. We got to be realistic with this. This guy's already played way too many snaps. He's already taken way too many hits. He will not be able to keep this up in the pros, and he hasn't even played any SEC defenses. I feel like if he'd have played Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, one of these real physical, rough teams, he would have got hurt because he can't take that punishment, and he's not built. As you can see, he's a real skinny guy. The next reason this guy will be a generational bust is off the field issues. He's already had a bunch of off the field drama, and we see the NFL does not play that. They do not like off the field drama, and they definitely don't like people coming from that Sanders camp. This guy has had so much drama with his girlfriend already cheating on him, and all these stories come out, and the media's tired to talk about it. And now he married her. And I don't care what anyone says, but on the field, he's still been able to play. Yeah, but when you marry them and now you're going to maybe possibly go through a divorce later on the line and all your teammates is going to make fun of you and have jokes. Because at Colorado, he was the big dog and Deion protected him. In the NFL, you're not going to be the big dog. That's Trevor Lawrence's team. Those guys are going to make comments. They're also millionaires too. You're not making all the money in NIL and they're making nothing and they're just going to stay quiet. Some of those guys might even sleep with your wife that showed she's already not faithful. And that's a big issue to me. That's showing me he doesn't have good character judgment. He doesn't have good judgment. And we've seen a lot of NFL players fail over time because of females. We've seen their careers end short because of females. And this guy looks like he wants to be next on that list. Besides, already being small, besides already taking all these snaps and his body's all beat up, besides never playing any real competition in college, he also decided to marry someone who is going to make his life harder every day. And when you're in the NFL, you need to focus on the NFL. You need to focus on football. It should be your number one. We know that she won't allow football to be his number one. She has to be his number one. She has to take all his money. She wants to be in the spotlight. And this guy needs to focus all he can on gaining weight, on perfecting his craft, on becoming a better route runner, on not getting mossed on defense, on playing real talent and let's seeing what he has, But that's his relationship. I hope it works out for him, but I don't see it. I see it just being more of a headache, and it's going to cause headaches to the NFL team having to deal with her, and they're not going to like that. And NFL does not play that. They're the shield. It's about the team. It's about the league. No player or no player's wife is bigger than the league. They don't care. They're not allowing the controversy. There's only one room for one Taylor Swift in the NFL. So his girl's not Taylor Swift. They don't want her. They don't want to hear her drama. They don't want her drama messing up their league. And it's going to be a big distraction for him. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Do y'all think that Travis Hunter is going to be a big generational bust like I do? All right, let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe. It's Bias Sports. I'm out.